Welcome Pisces, this is your June 8th to June 14th reading, and for you what's going to be most impactful to you this week is going to be this full moon in Sagittarius, and that's going to happen on June 11th, and that's going to impact your career and finances. So this is a time for you to assess your professional trajectory and your financial plans and embrace opportunities that offer growth and fulfillment. So we have the Nine of Swords here. So you may be feeling like you've been putting in a lot of effort and a lot of work, and it's just not necessarily working out as fast as you'd like it to, or you're not really seeing the rewards as quickly as you expected or intended. So you're being guided to really let go of that type of mentality. And if there's a way that you can reframe the situation and circumstances that you're in, one that you can draw some positivity from it, such as, okay, you're in this place where you're receiving a lot of preparation and training for what is to come. And a lot of the stress, the doubts, the limiting beliefs are things that you could work on in the meantime as far as letting those things go. And I'm even hearing for some of you there's how shall I say this, there's a better attitude that you could have. That's what I heard, so I'm just saying it. But you know, there may be opportunity for you to just reassess your communication skills and your methods and your approaches and see if there's a way that you can just tighten that up a little bit and be a little more emotionally intelligent in your communications, as well as have a little more understanding and compassion and empathy when you are engaging with others in the working environment. And I did shut the window, so I apologize if you can hear the yard work going on. I'm going to try to just power through it because hopefully it won't last that long. So we also have Temperance here with things balancing out for you. So I'm also hearing that there's this balance between the divine masculine and divine feminine qualities. And I feel like that ties back into what I was saying a little earlier about just minding your communication and just really focusing on having constructive conversations. So that allows you to pull in a lot of the divine feminine and masculine qualities. Like you can still be assertive, you can still be direct, you can still be truthful, you can still be honest, you can still be a go-getter, you can still be encouraging and optimistic in your conversations, but you can also have a little more empathy and compassion and understanding. So that could work out quite nicely if you're open to creating that balance and working on that balance. We also have the Four of Cups here. So this is also really a great time, and I said it earlier and it's coming out here as confirmation that it is a really great time for you to be thankful and grateful and appreciative for where you are and how far you've come. Okay, so again, we talked about sort of reframing the situation and taking out the positive. And that's part of being grateful and being appreciative and understanding that, okay, you know, these are lessons I designed for myself, and asking yourself, you know, what is it that I'm to be learning? What is my takeaway at this moment in time, as opposed to really focusing on just anything that you're defining as negative or lower vibrational that you don't really want to interact or engage with. So instead of focusing in on that and feeding that more energy and time, really try to reframe the situation and scenario so you're able to feel better and have a better mood and create a better mood for yourself, so you can get yourself sort of out of that space of where you may be feeling like this, like you're over it, like you're done, like you're not appreciated, and you can switch into that energy of, you know, just being grateful and thankful for what you do have, and opening yourself up creatively to what else can come towards you. So maybe it's sort of starting a side hustle, or exploring those things that you really loved but you just felt like, you know, you didn't have the energy to do, or you didn't have the time to do. So it could be about you focusing on making yourself feel better and better and better so that you have more time to focus on those things that you do actually love. So you're also being guided here to run things through not only your crown chakra, but thinking about it from a logical perspective, but also running things through your heart space, your heart chakra, and seeing how it feels to you from that perspective, from an emotional perspective as well. Okay, so I'm going to get one more here, and then I'm going to get some oracles. So we have the Ace of Cups, so wonderful. So for some of you, there could be opportunity, a new job offer, a higher title, a higher position. We talked earlier about maybe exploring some opportunities, so you could have an opportunity to partner with someone or collaborate with someone or invest in a particular business or industry. So there's definitely new beginnings coming to you with this Ace of Cups here. So that's wonderful. Let's see what else. Okay, so we have some competition here. So if you are trying out for something, like not trying out, but if you've applied for a job or you've expressed interest in a particular project, and it's being decided who's going to actually head that up, we do see that coming up here. But there's absolutely this opportunity for that to be you. So that is so wonderful here. And I feel like there's also a message here about not comparing yourself to where others are, and not like falling into that space and that trap of like, oh, well, we've both been doing this job for this long and they don't have this and I have that, or they didn't do this and I did this, and I'm better than them and I should be having this opportunity over them. Like, so I think I've said this quite a few times, and it's not my quote, but I've always tried my best to live by, just the understanding that comparison is really the thief of joy. It really takes away like any positive energy that you have around a new opportunity and something that you want to explore, and an area that you want to advance and grow in. You start comparing yourself to others, and that immediately like takes away it literally takes away the joy out of just the fun and exciting opportunity that you do have in front of you. So really try not to do that. Okay, so let me get one more here, and I messed these all up. Let me try to fix that. So we have wisdom. Wonderful, wonderful. And you do absolutely have everything that you need to be successful. So if you are granted this opportunity, trust in yourself. Trust in yourself and know that you have everything that you need. You have all the tools that you need, the knowledge, the wisdom within you to be successful. And as you learn, that's not saying that like, oh, there's nothing you can learn, or there aren't going to be opportunities, or there are not going to be times where you're like, oh, well, you know what? Yeah, I feel like that was kind of a mistake. And, even though I don't like to say the word mistake, like you're definitely going to have those moments where you're like, oh, well, probably the other option was better, or, now this is going to cost us a little more if we didn't, since we picked this versus the other. But just know and trust that that is a part of the process, and that is a part of your journey, and that is a part of your growth. So it's not a mistake. Right? It was intended to happen to teach you and to show you where you are, and that, yeah, there are better options available to you that's more aligned with who you are and the things, the outcomes that you want to see. So that is just opportunity for you to recognize and make adjustments where you feel it's necessary to do so. Okay? All right, so let's look at some challenges here. Okay, so I want to make sure this, okay, that is still in frame. Okay, so we have the High Priestess here. Okay, so you could be challenged with utilizing your gifts and talents and abilities and connecting with your intuition. And when I say challenged, I just mean that you may not, because you are sort of going through it a little bit and you're trying to work through some things, you may kind of detach a little bit from that. And I think that is a common practice. I know that I've done it myself when things aren't necessarily going in the direction you want them to, like you just feel like drained drained and you're like, you know what, I don't want to do my meditations. I want to just like lay here and just like not think about anything. But that's actually counterproductive. So when you're having those moments and you're having those feelings, that's even more of a reason to go within and connect more deeply with the truth of who you are and the authentic version of yourself, also known as your higher self. So that is the time where it's actually more critical that you do connect within. Okay. And utilize your intuition to help guide you, because if you do have some opportunities coming towards you, as we're seeing here, you may want to take a moment to think about them. So use your intuition as you're thinking about them. We also talked about you running it through your heart chakra as well as your crown chakra. Okay. So we also have the 5 of crystals here. All right, so yeah, this competition is coming out again here. So just really quickly, I'm not going to go through the whole spiel again, but you know, we talked about how that can come up for you this week. Just the tendency to focus on others, or focus on how far others are, or focus on why others don't deserve this position but you do, or just whatever this is, whatever those feelings are of just conflict and contrast with others, just be aware of that, because that is going to come up into the surface for you this week. So we talked about how you can manage that, applying some of those masculine and feminine qualities to that, and creating that balance so that you're communicating honestly, but also constructively as well. Okay, so there also may be some temptations, and this could be like very tangible things like smoking too much, drinking too much, eating, overeating. It could be that, or it could be in your mind as well, like limiting beliefs and thoughts, just talking to yourself negatively, beating yourself up over things, degrading yourself, just thought processes and ideas and philosophies that just don't align with who you are anymore. So this could be a lot of things, but it's anything that is holding you back, whether it's tangible or it's in your mind. So you're definitely going to be asked to look out for that this week and recognize those things as they're coming up, as blockers, as prohibitors from you accomplishing and achieving your goals. So we also have the Empress here as well. Okay, we have the High Priestess and the Empress. So you definitely are being guided to stay in your power and ensure that you're stepping into your power so that you have the strength, the energy, the mood, the frequency, the vibration to deal with anything that comes your way. So we know that we have some wonderful things that are coming your way, but we also have opportunities here for you to be letting go of things that aren't serving you, for you to be balancing your communications or other just situations, scenarios with divine masculine and divine feminine energy. So I feel like I'm hearing for some of you, this is also love here that we're talking about. So you're really being asked to like step into your power and to be communicating effectively and utilizing your intuition as situations and scenarios come up. Okay. So let me just get one, or oh, you know what? Let's go here with the oracles. So we have you realizing you have all the qualities to be a leader. Wonderful, because we know that that opportunity is here, and you may have that opportunity come up like very, very, very quickly for some of you here. And for others of you, I feel like this could also be you. We talked about earlier, you deciding that, you know, you do want to be an entrepreneur, you do want to start that side business, and you do want to start exploring paths of having other alternative sources of income coming through to you. So this also applies to that as well. So you don't have to have, you know, the title of being a leader to be a leader. Absolutely not. You know what I'm saying? So all right, so let's look at some potential fears here. Okay, so some of you may feel like telling the truth or being honest is going to result in some negativity. And I feel like from the perspective of you being honest and upfront and straightforward and direct, yeah, those are all things that need to happen. Now, at the same time, Pisces, because I know how Pisces can be, y'all are very, very, very honest. So just be mindful of the things that you say. And I'm going to say that again because it's coming to me again. So not every single thing has to be said. Now, excuse me. If you're having a conversation, we'll just apply this to career and finances since that's the theme for this week. So if you're in the working environment and you know somebody's like full of shit and not making no sense, maybe you could phrase the question, phrase what you want to say in a question like, oh, can you help me understand more about this, or something like that, so it can get to the point of like, yeah, excuse me, you're full of shit. So you can do things like that. You can use different strategies, so it's not like, yeah, that's not making no sense, blah blah blah, you know what I'm saying? So that's all that this is really saying here, as far as like, yeah, just try to be a little softer in your communications, because you are in the working environment and it's really about the message, and you want to make sure that the message is heard, not just someone looking at your tone and saying like, oh, you're being aggressive with your tone, or just whatever, you know what I'm saying? So just recognize that, okay, I'm going to be very strategic in my communications, and I'm going to say only what needs to be said, and it absolutely is going to be the truth, we know that, but just again, be mindful of like, you may not need to say everything to get your point across, okay, if that makes sense at all. Okay, let me see what else here. So we also have the Four of Diamonds, the Four of Pentacles here. Okay, so you may also just have this underlying, and these are underlying fears here that we're looking at, but you may have just underlying concerns and fears that are coming up as it relates to you being successful, or you continuing to grow your finances. Okay, so if you are feeling like this opportunity that's coming towards you, you're feeling like you may not have what it takes to be successful in that area. So that's definitely an underlying belief that is false and absolutely not true, and you know that it's not true. But sometimes we have to work through this process of getting that trust, and trusting and knowing who we are and how powerful we are, and that we can do anything we want to do, and we can be successful at anything we set our minds to. So you may want to just kind of look underneath the surface there and see what's there. Okay, so we also have the Knight of Diamonds here. Excuse me. All right, so yeah, you may also be feeling very just unsure. And I'm not going to delve too deeply into this, because I feel like this is the same sort of fear here, this underlying fear of just about the future. And, I did say two different things here, as far as like just fear about being successful in the role. And it could also be fear about being not just success in the role, but also just having money and being financially set and financially free and being wealthy as well. So definitely those are two different distinct fears that you may have here underneath the surface, that you may want to look at, to start uncovering and address. What is your relationship with money? Okay. All right, so let's move to potential outcomes here. Wonderful. So we have the Four of Wands. So this is a new portal. This is a new chapter. And I love that, because with this Four of Wands, that is your chapter that leads you to success, to successful outcomes, to fulfillment, to joy, to bliss, to happiness. Okay? So you absolutely will be successful here. So don't let those fears stop you. Don't let those fears start to create barriers that make you feel like, oh, well, I'm a little scared to speak out here because, I don't want it to be taken the wrong way, or just what have you. You're learning. You are learning, and you're learning how to be more compassionate, more understanding, more emotionally intelligent. So don't be too hard on yourself. We also have you taking the lessons that you've learned, which is also awesome. Right? So you know that, okay, there's more. I'm on this journey. There's more that I can learn. There's more ways that I can grow. And you're taking that, because all of these knives here are lessons. So you're taking that and you're moving forward, and you're moving towards this new chapter, and you're stepping through it, allowing yourself to be open to new beginnings and new possibilities. We also have the Seven of Wands here. And this is you also overcoming adversity and being brave, standing up for yourself. You may even have a little negotiation period here when you're being offered a position or a project or a collaboration. You may be fully in your strength and in your power and be like, look, nope, this is my limit. This is what I'll accept. So, that may be something that happens here as well. And you're learning lessons as a part of all of this. So for some of you, where if you do have those negotiations and you're set at a certain level and you feel good about that and you trust in that, there's a lesson in that. So for some of you, it may be that, okay, that doesn't necessarily work out, but do you see where this is going? You're going to this new portal anyway, regardless of anything that happens. So if it doesn't work out as exactly how you want it to, or you planned it to, then you're still learning lessons, and you're still taking everything that you need and all that knowledge and wisdom, and you're stepping through a new portal anyway. So no worries there. Wherever you're going, it's leading to success. So, all right, let's get some oracles here. Okay, so we have gentleness, with you being kind to yourself and others, and honoring that divine feminine within you, those qualities, and speaking unconditional love and being in unconditional love. Okay, so we also have you are good enough with this full moon in Virgo, and I believe this is like a wonderful, wonderful way to end, because that is all that we're talking about here. You stepping into your power and trusting and knowing who you are and what you deserve, and not settling for anything less than that, and trusting and knowing that, like, okay, if this particular situation doesn't work out, I am still walking toward my paradise, my fulfillment, my happiness, and nothing's going to change that. Okay, Pisces, so those are the messages I have for you. Have a wonderful week. Take care.